Greetings, my fellow Info Warriors. This is Eli King with the Info Wars Tyranny Response Team, reporting to you from deep inside the heart of Fema Region Number 2 here in Manhattan, New York City, where Police Commissioner Ray Kelly says his department is looking to deploy terahertz imaging detection scanners on the streets for the war on illegal guns. Kelly said these scanners would be used in reasonable suspicious circumstances and are intended to cut down on the stop and frisk. So-called stop and frisk are considered a violation of the Fourth Amendment. New York City is largely a Second Amendment free zone, and New York City's mayor, Michael Bloomberg, says its citizens acting outside of any governmental or military effort should not be able to protect themselves with firearms. The ACLU and civil libertarians unions oppose this technology, saying it's a violation of privacy. In addition to violating the Fourth Amendment, the new proposed technology would subject its citizens to a documented health risk: the destruction of DNA. Studies reveal terahertz waves unzip the double strand in the DNA, creating bubbles in the double strand that could significantly interfere with the processes such as the gene expression and the DNA replication. So, Commissioner Kelly, and to all you police out there, before you decide to release these terahertz waves on us, let me remind you that you swore an oath to the Constitution. So before you decide to go and destroy our DNA, maybe you should look at the bigger agenda. Agenda 21. This is Eli King with InfoWarsNews.com signing off. Greetings, my fellow Info Warriors. This is Eli King with InfoWarsNews.com, reporting to you from deep inside the heart of Fema Region Number 2 here in Manhattan, New York City. And InfoWars has linked to an article that states a startling number of healthy young New York City cops who responded to the 9/11 terror attacks have since been diagnosed with cancer, according to data obtained by the New York Post. There are 297 cops who were diagnosed with cancer after working at Ground Zero, and the average age was a shocking 44 at the time of diagnosis, according to the data from the Patrolmen's Benevolent Association, otherwise known as the PBA. And PBA President Pat Lynch said it's time to stop the obstruction and provide the data the police department has already collected so that the federal government doesn't have to operate in the dark. You see, but what PBA President Pat Lynch does not understand is that 9/11 was an inside job. And EPA President and former New Jersey Governor Christy Todd Whitman told all of our brave men and women that the air down at Ground Zero was safe when it was clearly not. And all the evidence and signs are there that 9/11 was an inside job. You got World Trade Center 7 falling in 6.6 seconds flat at free fall speed. You got FEMA setting up a command center by the Hudson River on September 10th, the night before the attacks. You got two of the hijackers' passports that magically appeared from the rubble in pristine condition and landed right in the lap of the FBI. There is a mountain of evidence that 9/11 was an inside job, and the supposed greatest police force in the world can't figure this out? Well, it's time for you, police out there, to stand up for your brothers in blue the same way you would if they were shot and killed in the line of duty. Is the same way you should stand up for those police who have died and are dying of cancer because of the lies told to us about the 9/11 attacks by our own U.S. government. So it's time for you to stand up and uphold that oath you took in Madison Square Garden when you graduated from the police academy to defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign or domestic, and that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people and you, the police of the NYPD, to alter or abolish it and institute new government that is of the people, by the people, and for the people. So help us God. This is Eli King with InfoWars News. Greetings, my fellow Info Warriors. This is Eli King with the InfoWars Tyranny Response Team, reporting to you from deep inside the heart of Fema Region Number 2 here in Manhattan, New York City, where Mayor Bloomberg wants to implement a 50-cent tax on bicyclists to cross this very bridge. Let's go and ask some bicyclists what they think about this tyrannical tax. Yes, what is your name and where you're from?
My name is Vanessa. I'm from Brooklyn.
Okay, what do you think about Mayor Bloomberg wanting to charge bicyclists 50 cents to cross this bridge each way every day?
I feel like it's part of the ongoing campaign to sort of demonize bicycles. I mean, if they wanted to impose a tax to enter the city, they should do so for cars like they've done it in London, because it's proven to be effective in reducing traffic and congestion. But I feel like they should encourage cyclists because it's free, it's easy, it's healthy, and it's a great way to get around, especially in the spring and summer, any time of year. But I don't feel like cyclists should be obliged to pay a tax for doing something that's already good for the environment and the city.
Do you think this is part of a bigger agenda, Agenda 21 perhaps?
Perhaps, who knows? I mean, he's looking for all sorts of ways to make money, and these days you can't blame him. But I feel like targeting cyclists is kind of part of the low-hanging fruit, and there's sort of bigger things to focus on rather than sort of asking cyclists to pay dearer and dearer taxes when there's especially when his police don't do anything. I mean, like the way cyclist deaths are treated, it seems like if you ever want to off someone, you can just kill them with their car and get off scot-free. So I feel like the more power and the more effort that goes towards cyclists, the better.
Do you think they're going to start charging pedestrians next after the bikes?
I know. What else is next? Like charging babies for crying? I mean, I heard that he was going to start making it illegal to smoke in your own home. So it's like there's a limit to how much I think that the government should be involved in people's lives, and I don't see if that sort of money is going to go towards improving and adding more bike lanes, then maybe I could see the sense in charging a tax or a fee for crossing the bridge by bike. But other than that, I feel like it's just another ridiculous ploy to bilk New Yorkers out of their hard-earned money.
How you doing, sir? What's your name and where are you from?
I'm Stuart. I'm from California, but I live in the East Village.
Okay, cool. What do you think about Mayor Bloomberg wanting to implement a 50-cent bike toll to cross the bridge each way?
I think it sucks, and it's kind of against what he's been saying. He's been trying to put in more bike lanes to get people to exercise more in the city, and then he does this. It's going to discourage biking for everyone.
Absolutely. Do you think this is part of a bigger agenda?
I don't know if I would say that. I think they're just trying to scrape in some revenue that the city doesn't have, but there has to be a better way to do it than this.
Do you think they will start charging pedestrians next to walk across the bridge?
Maybe the Williamsburg Bridge. Certainly not the Brooklyn, because they want to keep the tourism in, and that brings them more money.
No, it has been stating in the report that they're going to start charging the Queensboro, the Manhattan, the Brooklyn, and the Williamsburg Bridge.
That sucks, man. That takes the bridge away from us. You shouldn't have to pay to be able to do this. It should be something that, I don't know, it's just a bridge. It's not it's not something that should be charged for.
All right, sir. Well, thank you very much for your input. I really appreciate it. God bless. Take care. Well, there you have it. The people have spoken. The verdict is in. The people do not want your globalist Agenda 21 tax put on us. So, Bloomberg, enough is enough. Emperor, you three-turned bastard. Get the hell out of my city, you scumbag.